The Latino vote in battleground states such as Florida, Arizona, and Texas could ultimately decide some top state offices and which party ends up controlling Congress.
According to Pew Research, roughly 35 million Latinos are eligible to vote in the midterms today. That's about 14% of the electorate. That makes them the second largest racial and ethnic group of eligible voters. So with me now is Melissa Alfaro. She is the co-founder of Hey Chica, a movement. It's a Dallas-based organization dedicated to empowering Latinas. Thank you so much for joining us. I was talking earlier about like the African-American vote. And one thing that we've learned about these sort of bloc voters that we've talked about for many, many years is that you can't paint them with one brush, right? There are variations and different interests and different takes on topics. So where do Latino voters stand when it comes to party affiliation?
Yeah, absolutely. Latinos as a community are a diverse electorate. Latinas across the country and in Texas still largely favor Democrats. And Latinas are leaders in our families. We're the ones balancing the checkbooks. We're the ones taking our families and grandparents doctor's appointments, dealing with health insurance. And a lot of us are the first in our families to receive college degrees. Many times our families follow our leads, our nieces, nephews, cousins. Our families look to us for answers. And so the role that Latinas play in their families will impact how the community votes. Latinas generally vote Democrat.
So here's what's sort of been interesting. We are seeing Latinos, which have long, as you pointed out, been considered dependable Democratic supporters. They're not shifting towards Republicans. What's happening is that Republicans are siphoning off the dependable voting bloc. In other words, Democrats are still winning Latino voters. They're still winning Black voters, but Republicans are increasing their share of that pie, right? So in other words, these races come down to the margins, not whether you outright win the bloc, which Democrats are still doing. It's how many of those Latino voters are Republican candidates able to bring over to their other side. So the question becomes, why are Republicans how have Republicans become successful in getting Latinos and other minorities in this country to vote with them?
Yeah, so I know we like to talk about South Texas. South Texas is an area where a lot of conservative efforts are being concentrated. But I think it's really important to keep track of the other major players in the area. So Houston, for instance, has a larger Latino population than the Rio Grande Valley. Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex has a larger population, Latino population than the Rio Grande Valley. Latinas in these areas are leaning Democrat. And again, we're leaders in our families. Latinos care about what everyone else cares about: healthcare, education, access to family planning services like abortion care, which has become a major issue in our state. And the Dobbs decision only proved that states have power. And so we're really looking at those local and state elections. Republicans haven't done a great job of protecting our rights to access health care,
at the top,
opportunity and education.
At the top of almost every sort of voter poll, when we talk about the issues, the economy comes up at the top. And the fact that the economy certainly, doesn't look so great when you're on the bottom floor. Maybe it's different in different areas of society, but certainly if you're buying eggs and milk, it's costing you more and filling up your gas tank. That has had an impact on President Biden's approval rating. I'm wondering if this issue of the health of the economy and its impact on the president's approval rating, if that will have an impact on the way this demographic votes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. But here's what we know. Historically, the party of the president in power loses seats during the midterm. However, Latino among the group that will most benefit from President Biden's student loan relief and elimination of so-called junk fees. These are the very things that affect our pocketbooks, and this is what our community cares about.
All right, Melissa Alfaro, thank you very much for your insight and perspective. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.